Thanks for tuning in. This is Thesweetcyclists. Today we're going to be looking at the Magicshine Seemee 180 bike rear taillight. So here we have the Magicshine Seemee 180. This is one of the new taillights as a part of the updated Seemee line. This is a really unique taillight that offers quite a bit of technology and new features from Magicshine. Now we have a sneak peek here, so I don't actually have the packaging, but if you can imagine, I'll show a little picture of the packaging here on the right. You can see it's really eco-friendly with minimal plastic and the taillight prominently displayed. Now pretending as if we did the unboxing, now we'll go over the specs. What makes this taillight quite unique is the dual LED design. So you have an inner and outer ring, a really large face on here, 180 maximum lumen output, which is really impressive. And what's really cool about these taillights, they have 8 different modes, 3 constant, 4 flashing, and a smart mode that actually leverages an integrated ambient light sensor to automatically adjust the output depending on the current conditions. You also get a brake sensor which automatically switches it to the 180 lumen output boosted mode to draw attention. It's micro USB rechargeable. You also get 2 different mounts right out of the box, which is a really cool feature. You get a C-post mount that actually works on both rounded and arrow C-post with this dual cutout design. You get a saddle rail mount, which is another nice feature. Simply sits on your round seat rails. You get the taillight itself, and you get 2 zip ties, which I'm not quite sure what you need them for. You can use that to maybe secure it on the saddle rail for a little extra security, but I found this works pretty well. Now let's take a look at the weight of the Seemee 180 taillight. So the taillight by itself comes in at only 36 grams, so quite lightweight. Then we have the really simple plastic saddle rail mount, which comes in at 4 grams. Then we have the C-post mount with the rubber strap. That comes in at 12 grams, so pretty light overall. Now let's go over the fit and finish of the Seemee 180 taillight. Now what I really like about the taillight is the LED design here. It has a really cool optics on here. As you can see, it has these vertical deflectors on top, then horizontal deflectors on the bottom. So it really gives you a nice distributed beam. And with that outer ring, which is actually on an independent control board, you get a really cool design. So with the different flash modes, they'll flash the inner and then the outer to really draw attention. Overall, the body on this is a rectangular plastic design, so quite lightweight. On top, you have one of my favorite features, the power button. This is a rubber, really easy to grab, especially with gloves on. What they've added with the new Seemee lights is finally a battery indicator. So you get a 3-level indicator. So it's roughly between 20 to 100%, 6 to 20, and then anything lower will flash red. So it's green, red, flashing red. You get a really simple mounting design. This is a quarter turn, pretty much a scaled down kind of Garmin design. Next you have Magicshine logo on here on the side. Now one thing I was really concerned about when I first saw the taillight was the side visibility. However, you can kind of tell here, this is actually transparent. So if I turn this on with a long hold, you can see that whole front of the body is transparent. So that gives you that 260-degree visibility. So a really nice feature. You also have mode memory with this taillight. So whatever mode you turn it off on, it'll turn back on. So really nice feature. Underneath, you'll find the standard micro USB charging port. Unfortunately, it's not USB Type-C yet. However, with the IPX6 rating, this should definitely handle wet weather days, and I really like the rubber gasket. It fits in well. Other side, again, you have simple Magicshine. Overall form factor, it's quite small, and it'll definitely hide behind your C-post. We'll take a quick look at the mount. Definitely want to point out here, it's a really clever mount design. So it'll work on both arrow post and C-post. Standard round C-post with this dual cutout. So the larger cutout will work with a round C-post, while that inner cutout will make sure it actually sit flush on an arrow C-post. You also get a standard saddle rail mount, which is a really cool feature, dual-sided. Now let's take a look at the mounting options with the Seemee lights. What I have here is the C-post mount as well as the saddle rail mount. To install the saddle rail mount, you simply place it between the saddle rails, and I believe these have to be round rails, so other rails might not work. And then you apply some pressure, and you hear that nice click, and it's in place, so it feels really secure. and it can be slid back and forth slightly. This will interfere with saddle bags or other accessories you might have on here, such as a fender. Now, if we take the Seemee 200 as an example, we do a simple quarter turn for the C-post mount, and you can see really secure, easy rubber straps to remove it and install it. And then for the saddle rail mount, same quarter turn, and it gives you a nice higher placement, especially if you don't have saddlebag. I think it looks a little better as it tucks in underneath your saddle. So now let's take a look at the full lineup of Seemee taillights and compare that to other taillights on the market. What I have here is the Seemee 200. It has the dual LED design, one on the bottom, one on the front, $45. Next we have the Seemee 180 at $40, has a large cob LED design on front. Then you have the Seemee 100 with a slightly lower output and very similar form factor at $35. And finally the $17 Seemee 30, which is much thinner and lighter than the others. What's really cool about this is that all of the Seemees now have ambient light sensors, and that gives you that smart light output mode to automatically adjust to the conditions or power that secondary LED on or off. You get the brake sensor and everything but the Seemee 30. Now, form factor wise, you can see a rectangular design with the 180, 100, and the 30. And this is quite a departure from the previous Seemee. So I have a Seemee 60 here, and you can see this is very different. It has a polished outer ring to it and a cob LED design. And compared to the other ones, it looks like quite a bit of an outlier. The Seemee 60 does have the brake sensor, but no ambient light sensor. Now, starting with the Seemee 200, this reminds me a lot of the Bontrager RT, and you can see when you put them side by side, they're quite similar. The Magicshine Seemee 200 is a little bit taller, and that's likely due to the fact that it has the secondary sensor as well. The Bontrager only has an ambient light sensor and no brake sensor, so a little bit smaller. The Bontrager does have Bluetooth connectivity, which lets you connect to a computer to monitor the output, battery, and also turn it on or off automatically, which is a nice feature. However, it is more expensive at $60, so I think the Seemee 200 is a really nice high-tech feature at a pretty good price at $40. Also, that dual LED design is quite unique and something I haven't really seen before with these kind of taillights. Now, if you look at the Seemee 180, 100, they're both quite similar, except lower output, and then the differences in prices. They both have the same light output modes, obviously different run times, and they both have brake sensor and then the motion, the ambient light sensor as well. They all have this nice transparent body as well. So you can see, even though it almost looks dark, you can kind of tell here the front is transparent, and same thing here, this whole shell, the body is transparent. So very similar. These remind me a lot of the Topeak Aero taillight. So you can see a rectangular body. It's more compact, while the Topeak has a more flared design. I do like the fact that the Topeak has a transparent body, so when you turn this on, you can see it really lights up the whole thing compared to the Magicshine. But you do get pretty good visibility with the side visibility with the Magicshine's transparent body. It is a little bit thinner, and the fact that you can run this on both Aero and non-Aero C-posts is a really nice feature. The Seemee 30 is a little bit of an outlier from the product line. At $17, it's thinner, does not have the brake sensor, but it does have the ambient light sensor and the same light mode options. Now let's take a look at the Seemee 180 on the road. As you can see here, even during the daytime, that flash setting is quite bright. And with the high output here, the brake sensor also really attracts attention with that 180 lumens. Also note that the brake sensor is quite sensitive and will get triggered more often, even when you're not just braking. That's one issue we've seen across the Seemee line, so that's something to be aware of. Now there are 8 different modes with this taillight. You have 3 constant modes, and you have 4 flash modes and a smart mode. What's really cool about this is the various flash modes. They're quite creative. I really like the breath mode here that fades in and out, as well as comma, which fades out. You also have the interactive mode, which doesn't show up quite well on the camera, but that lights up the inner portion of the LED and then the outer portion, with the runtimes being pretty generous here. Smart mode is a really cool feature that uses the ambient light sensor and automatically switches between a day mode and a night mode, where the night mode holds a lower power setting then turns higher instead of going on-off. Here's a little montage of all the output modes together. You can see there's quite a few options to choose from and probably too many modes, to be honest. But it's nice they've integrated so many options. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Seemee 180. I really like the battery status checker. You don't have to guess about the battery state. You have a 3-level checker even when the light's off. And that's a nice feature I'd like to see in more taillights. Also, there's a lot of cool tech features here with that ambient light sensor and the brake sensor. That automatically turns on the deceleration as well as enables that smart mode. Also, I really like the excellent side visibility and daytime visibility with that transparent body and the 180 lumen output. That's a taillight you can definitely use whether it's day or night. Some of the cons are the integrated battery, which unfortunately means you have to throw away the light once the battery is fully depleted. Also, there is no body clip included, which is a little bit strange since they included a saddle rail mount. Also, there's a confusing number of output modes. With 8 total modes, I feel like they could definitely pare it down to a couple instead of having so many. Taking everything into account, I would give the taillight a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really sleek and bright, smart taillight. It's great to see Magicshine really improve the Seemee line and add such cool smart features at such a low price. Thanks for watching this review. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us at our website at Thesweetcyclists.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at Thesweetcyclists. This is Thesweetcyclists reminding you to enjoy the ride.